Siha was born with extraordinary power, and the adults in his immediate vicinity had high expectations for him from an early age. But the boy's peers mocked and avoided him because they thought he was a weirdo. When creatures known as dimensionals emerged from another world 18 years ago, humanity was in danger of being extinct. At first, mankind lacked the tools necessary to take down these enigmatic creatures. People with a brand new psychic ability, known as phase power, started to show up one day. They started using these abilities to vanquish the monsters and shut down the dimension gates from which they had come. These people are employed by the Union organization and are formally referred to as closers. At the moment, Sylvie addresses her peers during the Union Youth Training Program graduation. She received this accolade since she placed top in the class. She has been appointed captain of Team Black Lambs in recognition of her outstanding performance. Siha is enjoying his mobile game when she ambushes him. Sylvie gives a brief introduction of herself and her role. But Siha doesn't care and rushes past her, telling her to move out of his path. He continues to proceed despite her entreaties for him to wait. He acknowledges that she wants him to work as a closer, but he admits that he had received a call from Kim and turned down the offer since he doesn't see the need for the position. Sylvie clarifies that the Black Lambs organization is the first underage unit formed to engage in actual combat, not a training squad. This demonstrates the abilities of the selected members. He wishes to live a regular life for as long as possible, but Siha points out that this is irrelevant because they would have to join the Union Army as adults nonetheless. Sylvie is perplexed because she believed that those with phase powers were driven to save humanity. Siha reiterates to her that he finds phase powers dull and is not interested in such sentiment. The female tries to make him feel bad about putting off his obligation. When she refers to him as a pampered and conceited child, Siha becomes agitated. The comment reminds him of some of his traumatic experiences. He goes away irritated after claiming that Sylvie doesn't know enough about him to make such remarks while he is holding her. Later that evening, Kpatch, a former Union scientist, emerges via a dimension gate and positions a temporal device next to a power plant. If his experiments are successful, he is certain that humanity will be saved. A disastrous, unapproved experiment turned Kpatch into a half-monster. Additionally, he met the Master, a high-ranking dimensional, and after learning about their objectives, joined their nameless legion. Sylvie reports to her Union chapter the next day. The team's manager, Kim, and their technical support, Bitna, welcome her. When Sylvie sees the virtual training software she will be testing, she becomes excited. She is informed by Bitna that it is the newest model. Kim is a little let down that their team doesn't have enough agents to fully utilize this equipment. He is revealed to be the son of the renowned closer heroine who participated in the Dimensional War as she talks about her inability to recruit Siha. Kim also draws attention to Siha's challenging upbringing, which gives Sylvie a hint as to why he was so offended by her remarks. She feels bad about this. It is mandated that she enroll in the online course. Bitna verifies that all of the connections are complete and checks her vitals. In the virtual world, Sylvie is determined to show off her abilities. Unfortunately for her, a dimension gate opens when the gadget Kpatch planted activates. Sword-wielding monsters enter and begin attacking the apparatus. As a result, the Union branch loses authority. When the backup power source fails as well, Bitna becomes anxious since she can't access the virtual program. In accordance with emergency protocol, failure to restore the system will have a detrimental effect on Sylvie's consciousness. In the meantime, the creatures are out of control like some unruly toddlers. Kim attempts to contact special backup, but they are unable to be at the station in time due to their hectic schedule. Recalling that Siha lives close to the power plant, the manager contacts Ran from the Union transportation team to arrange for his visit. After that, Kim calls Siha to let him know how serious the situation is and to plead for his assistance. He is hesitant until the manager assures him that if he assists them, he won't be contacted again. Before he can hang up, Ran has already arrived at his house. As she speeds through the streets to their destination, he nearly falls off the back of her motorcycle as she snatches him up. As soon as they get there, the boy throws up. Ran throws a gun sword at him to deal with the army of monsters destroying the power plant. Siha quickly snatches it and rushes in, easily dispatching the beasts. He uses a powerful phase-powered downward assault to eliminate them. After the combat, he goes to the Union branch, where Bitna gets him excited and Kim thanks him. His decision to leave the squad saddens them. The manager makes one last appeal for him to join because of his skill. He only consents provided he may go when he's done being interested. Kim is content with that arrangement, but when Sylvie comes to, they are distracted. She is informed that Siha rescued her from the program's confines. The team leader then thanks him for this. Following Sylvie's recuperation, they meet and discuss the goals of their team. The captain and Siha get into a heated argument because the young player isn't paying attention to their boss and is instead playing his games. Sylvie has a nightmare one night about the monster attack that tore her from her parents, and it wakes her up. Her eyes well up with tears as she holds onto her family's necklace, but this is brief since she soon learns of an explosion that took place in the city. The skipper flips between channels, providing additional details. Some survivors spoke about how a monster showed up following the blast, and that they hope Union can handle this problem. On her way to headquarters, Sylvie discovers a message from Bitna telling her that the training machine is in excellent operating condition. Siha is taking a break from his simulation session when she walks into the lab. He gestures toward the television while taking a sip of his beverage. Yuri, a recent addition to the squad, is presently enrolled in the training course. She breezes through a really challenging stage, and Kim is amazed by how fast she's picked up fighting skills. Among her peers, Binna discloses that Yuri has the greatest score. It still amazes Siha that she only discovered her phase power a year ago. Kim reveals that prior to the manifestation of her skills, Yuri had won the national kendo competition. They all watch as she uses her katana handgun combo to kill more difficult beasts with precise cuts and shots. Sylvie acknowledges that no one in the academy was this good as she watches in wonder. The captain is pleased that their squad now has such a dependable player. Yuri hopes she did well as she leaves the simulation. Since their classes are adjacent, she is able to identify Siha. The girl thinks they will get along and function as a cohesive unit. Yuri then focuses on Sylvie and remarks on how attractive she is. Kim closes her brief introduction by praising her for her performance in the online course. In order to take advantage of the benefits, such as a free residence and good pay, the newbie aspires to become an official high-level agent. She will receive all of stuff in due time, the manager promises. Next up, Sylvie enters the virtual trainer and uses her telekinesis abilities. Kim talks about how she's improved and expresses optimism that she and Yuri can become friends. Sylvie considers whether she and the newcomer could become friends as she makes her way home from the session. As she exits a grocery store, she runs across Yuri, who is having trouble carrying her bags. Sylvie assists her by stealing some of the bags. As they stroll, Yuri shares how she had to give up kendo competition after discovering her power, but it's thrilling to have the chance to become a closer. She was able to reassure her parents that she would be all right, despite their concerns. The newcomer has various devices that assist her control and train her phase power, Sylvie observes. Yuri had to go acquire the ingredients for her siblings' dinner before she could watch Sylvie train in the simulator. She extends an invitation to the team captain to join her for dinner. With a flush, Sylvie takes the offer. When they reach Yuri's flat, her younger brothers hurry to meet their sister. While she cooks, she kindly requests that the captain watch the boys. Because of the hue of her eyes and hair, Sylvie believes they are being cautious. In order to learn more about the family, she also surveys the residence. She observes that the parents appear youthful and that there are 5 members. She soon learns that the children weren't being wary of her, but rather were plotting how to trick her with their pranks. They rush about the house until one of them trips, but Sylvie uses her telekinesis to make him float, preventing him from falling. She forces the second boy to float as well since he wants to join his sibling. The lads pose as airplanes and swim in the air. When one of the children nearly reaches for her family's necklace that slipped out of her pocket, Sylvie abruptly drops them. She apologizes, picks up her heirloom, and quickly leaves the house when the boys laugh it off. Yuri looks at her brothers and accuses them of being the reason her buddy left. Later, after dropping the boys off, Sylvie lingers, hoping they're okay. She discovers Yuri outdoors with her share of the meal when her doorbell rings. The newcomer is surprised by the size of the flat when she allows her in. Yuri tries to remove herself after some small talk, but the captain stops her and says it's her first time having someone visit her home. Yuri remains behind, and the two spend the evening eating cake and watching a series. Siha discovers that the girls have become great friends the next day at headquarters. He questions whether any male members will be added, so he can connect with them as well. A man named Jay is informed that he is broke when he goes to the bank to check his money. Unfazed, the man asks the female cashier if she will accompany him to buy some health drinks with his leftover cash. She calls for security to take him out while grinning politely at him. He believes that his eyes caused him to be rejected, therefore he puts on his glasses before meeting his new teammates so as not to frighten them. Kim, meantime, gripes to her supervisor about the Black Lambs being sent on a combat assignment. She explains that since Yuri is still unable to fully manage her phase power, they are not yet prepared. Instead, the manager recommends sending a team of closers with experience. The boss admits that they don't have enough employees. To assist offset the inexperience, he has requested Jay to join the Black Lamb squad. Jay was a participant in the Dimensional War. The boss wants every closer to be prepared for battle because he believes the city is under danger. Siha spends that time in physical education class playing video games with his pal. When he sees Yuri seeing the kendo team exercising at the opposite end of the gym, the boy stops for a second. The Black Lambs practice their combat formations in the training sim after school. Everyone realizes that Yuri is not her normal self after their attack failed. Bitna is shocked when Jay enters the lab covertly and remarks that Yuri's motions are ineffective. When it is revealed that she is recalling the day her phase powers appeared during a kendo competition, the cause becomes clear. Because it is against the rules for those with supernatural ability to participate, the girl was disqualified. When Siha passes the gymnasium the next day, she sees that Yuri is once more sparring there. He offers her one of his chocolate lollipops after grabbing her attention. Siha tells him that he knows she made a mistake during their most recent training session because she was thinking about kendo and how much she misses it as they are sitting on a seat on campus. He suggests that she forget about her life before to discovering her abilities. If not, it will just hinder her progress. After giving his statement some thought, she thanks him and excuses herself. Jay, who overheard the exchange, informs Siha that he just broke Yuri's heart and that he shouldn't have spoken to her in that way. He tells the stranger that he only told her the truth, but Siha is still perplexed as to who this odd mofo is. Jay believes that he can only fully comprehend Yuri's feelings if he has also gone through kendo. Siha remembers that night how poorly he was abused as a child. After he convinces Bitna to set up a dojo within the training system, he asks Yuri to join him after he discovers her observing the kendo team rehearsing. The dojo surprises her as they enter the training simulation. Siha regrets not considering her feelings when giving her advice. The gesture causes Yuri to flush. Since they both use phase, they then compete against one another in a kendo bout. When Yuri gives Siha an opportunity to back down, Siha becomes a little irritated. He attacks and won't be taken lightly, which causes the two to trade blows. When Yuri's powers begin to appear, she attempts to relax. She is reminded by Siha that he is also superhuman. The boy launches another attack after channeling his energy into his bamboo blade. An epic clash results from this. When Siha unleashes more of his phase force, things get really intense. After recognizing the cue, Yuri becomes momentarily serious. She disarms Siha and delivers the decisive strike in a single motion. The boy accuses her of cheating and requests a rematch because of the stark disparity in skill between them. Ready to fight again, he picks up his bamboo blade, but when he puts his energy into it, it explodes. Yuri laughs at his sore loser mentality and gives him another chance. Black Lamb's other members congregate to see the altercation. Jay is formally introduced as the newest team member following the training session. On the battlefield, he will also serve as their mentor. Since they've already met, Siha is taken aback to see him. As the others introduce themselves, Jay experiences a minor medical emergency. He says that in order to heal, he requires fruit juice, which is why he is frequently spotted drinking it. His new friends think he's a little silly and question if he can look after them in combat. Thank you for watching to this point. For part 2, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss out.